I just have fun, just do what I would consider fun and hope that everybody else likes it.
The most interesting part and the most creative things you can think of come from what's around you.
My favorite thing about improv is creating a story with other people that you have no idea is going to happen. Like, you'll get on stage with 2 or 3 other people and then just something really amazing will happen. It's the idea that you can work together with other people on the spot to create something that is actually entertaining and not terrible.
Creativity involves, I think, some sort of conflict, and you need to overcome it, whether it's in yourself or you know, facing somebody else or whatever that is. It can be an audience, or it can just be your thoughts and feelings about a subject. You know, it just depends on what kind of something creative that you're doing.
Putting myself in another artist's shoes and being like, if they are so willing to be so vulnerable, would I judge them?
Is like a welcome embrace of failure, and I think that that's like a really good philosophy to have in life, is being like unabashedly open to failing, because you're gonna fail.
Well, I just get up and I do it. Whenever I have an idea, I just let the impulse take over and I go with it. And then when I kind of have, you know, when you get an idea and that idea like sparks into another thing, I get like super excited. I'm like, oh, I gotta do this too. And I'll just like let it backpack off each other until like I get an idea. Yeah, that's yeah.
It's easy to get down on yourself when something doesn't really go your way. And so you just have to kind of overcome that, even if it's hard sometimes.
Creative process is a bit of a cycle, where the top part of the cycle is like the logical part of whatever it is I'm doing, and then the bottom part of the cycle is the sort of theoretical part of whatever it is I'm doing. So I theorize what it is that I'm doing, and then I find ways to realize it, and then I kind of continue on that cycle.
Improv, because I just show up and I get ready to do it.
I feel people think creative and real life are two opposites. Like, they do creative things to get away from real life. They're like, oh, real life is so mundane and routine. But like, real life shit is entertaining as fuck, right?
I think my creative process is I don't have one, because it's improv. So you think on your impulse and you go for it and hope for the best.
When I'm doing something creative, the first thing I have to do is believe in myself and kind of immerse myself fully into what I'm doing. So
my fucking god, just spontaneity, like just going with it and like really respecting what you thought right off the bat and thinking on it. So not just like saying yes and going with it, but like taking those ideas, those one-offs, and just like evaluating them for a moment and being like, heck yeah, let's go with it. So not saying no off the bat, I guess.
Try to use impulse. I try to use just like, I try to take away the analytical part of it and just see where I just go and go and go and go without trying to stop, because stopping, I think, is where you get over analyticalness.
I just like go with what's coming to me. I don't really consider like where I want to go necessarily all the time, but I always just take what comes at me and use that.
My favorite thing about improv is that it brings together a whole lot of people that have similar interests all in one space, so you know every time you show up to an improv meeting that everybody's there to have a good time, and that makes it really fun.
Well, real life is pretty much improv. You're just thrust into situations that you have to think on your feet and somehow manage to find an answer for. So actually training yourself in improv actually really helps you. You have to answer questions on the spot or just genuinely think up something.
I draw inspiration from external ideas very much. I usually will like hear a concept or see something and like I'll like fill in the gaps in my mind, and that makes me want to like create something within those guidelines.
My favorite thing about improv is how fun it is. Like just how fun it is to go on stage and be like, I'm gonna be a character and just like have that moment. And I the funnest thing about improv is when like a scene just like really falls into place and everything just goes good, and like not because you did something good, but just because like everything just meshed together. That's my favorite thing. Or when you're just like screwing around and having fun.
I think just remembering that everybody's different, everything's different, and you just gotta keep trying till you find something that works.
I think that my creative process drives from absurdity and trying to like an impulse. So when I see something that I find to be weird and absurd, I go for it and see where it takes me.
You can't just force yourself to create something. It has to come naturally. So if you take a break, kind of refresh your brain, like if you're doing something that is on like the theoretical side, try to do something that's practical. Or if you're trying to create something from scratch physically, then take a break and actually like think about things, like do the opposite of the cycle.
I think improv has really helped me find myself, I guess. I feel like I'm way more social and easy to approach just with everyone like in my daily life because of improv.
Take some deep breaths, try to escape, have some water, breathe.
Just going with your gut and doing it.
It's just so nice to have that common bond of improv between everybody. It makes the social interactions really easy. And then also I just like doing a good scene. Like, oh, when you've done a good scene, oh, you can feel it,
It really isn't about like being afraid of looking stupid or being afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing. Like once you put yourself out there and just free fall into your own ideas, then the creativity is just gonna flow from there. Like good or bad doesn't apply anymore once you just like because you can really tell when somebody's super passionate about what they're doing. So just be you and really embrace that. That's what counts.
Fulfilling.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
But
Alright. Dang, I don't use that word. It feels riveting.
Riveting?
Riveting.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Flourishing. I flourish. I don't know.
Fucktastic.
Something beautiful.
Astounding.
Beautiful.
Oh, relieving, because you didn't fuck up.
Amazing.
I'm gonna give you 2 words, and they're fucking amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Amazing.